On September 2001, a dog walker spotted something horrific floating in the River Thames near Tower Bridge in London. It was the naked torso of a young boy, eerily missing its head, arms, and legs. The only clues to his identity were the pair of orange shorts he had been wearing. That's all we know because he was never identified. He became known simply as Adam. And what makes this case especially sinister is that despite the best efforts of the police, nobody has ever been able to say for sure if that was even his real name. What we do know is that Adam was probably between 4 and 7 years old when he died. And from the food found in his stomach, we know that he'd recently been fed a diet typical of West Africa, particularly Nigeria. Traces of a toxic bean, one used in some ritual practices, were also found in his stomach. But how did he get from West Africa to the River Thames? Nobody knows. And how exactly he was killed remains a mystery too. But the style of the killing, the dismemberment, and the presence of certain materials found in his stomach and bloodstream suggested to investigators that it may have had some kind of link to muti, which are ritualistic killings in which the body parts of humans are used to acquire power or protection. That's a common belief, at least in parts of West Africa. The case was immediately treated as a suspected ritual killing, one of the most disturbing and mysterious child murder cases in modern British history. The Metropolitan Police launched one of their biggest murder investigations, working closely with Nigerian authorities, child protection groups, and Interpol. Now, this is where things get murky because, according to news reports from the time early in the investigation, the police were looking into whether the killing was connected to a ring of Nigerian men involved in trafficking and ritualistic crimes. Apparently, several of these men had been questioned by the police. One man was arrested after a huge manhunt across London and then quickly released without charge. According to a BBC documentary which aired in 2002, 3 Nigerian men, 2 of them brothers living in London and the third from Nigeria, were among those questioned. The Met Police refused to comment on the reports, only saying that several people had been interviewed voluntarily and were released. No one else was ever charged. Despite hundreds of appeals on TV shows like Crime Watch and BBC's 100 Greatest Mysteries, nobody came forward to say they recognized the boy or knew anything about the crime. Advances in DNA technology meant that in 2006, police were able to release an e-fit image of what the boy might have looked like. But still no one came forward. Over the years, there have been many theories about who Adam was and what happened to him. Some have speculated that he may have been a victim of FGM, female genital mutilation. However, a post-mortem examination revealed that he had not been subjected to this. Others believe that he was killed in a botched sacrifice attempt. His killers may have realized too late that he wasn't actually a girl. But again, this is just speculation. What we do know is that the Adam case highlighted a number of disturbing issues: human trafficking, child exploitation, and the horrifying use of children in ritual killings. At the time, it sparked widespread media coverage and public outcry. Many people were scared to let their children play near the river, and the Adam case became a political issue with politicians calling for stronger action to tackle the issue of ritual killings. Now, more than 2 decades later, Adam's real name, his killers, and the exact circumstances surrounding his death remain a haunting mystery on the Thames. Can you think of any other unsolved mysteries from British history that we should cover? Let me know in the comments below.